We are on textbook page 113. We're in a new lesson, lesson 1.2, comparing and ordering integers. The essential question is, how do you compare and order integers? The first page is an explore activity where you need to read the problems and try them to the best of your ability, and then watch this video when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so we're going to read about this soccer league. The Westfield Soccer League ranks its teams using a number called the win-loss combined record. A team with more wins than losses will have a positive combined record, and a team with fewer wins than losses will have a negative combined record. The table shows the total win-loss combined record for each team at the end of the season. Now, what we just read there is actually not critical to answer the math questions to understand what a combined win-loss record is, but it is important to understand the positive and the negative numbers. You can answer all the questions as long as you understand the positives and the negatives. So question A reads, graph the win-loss combined record for each team on the number line. So if you find the teams and look at their numbers, you just put that on the number line. So the Sharks, team A, they're at 0. So you're just going to put a dot on 0 and put an A there to label it. That's what it means by graph and then label. The next team, the Jaguars, they're at 4, and that's a positive. So I'm going to put a dot on 4, and I'm going to put B. And then the Badgers, C, they're at -4. The Tigers, D, are at -6. The Cougars, E, are at +2. The Hawks, F, are at -2. And the Wolves, G, are at +6. So before we go on, I want you to make sure that you have those graphed correctly, and I also want you to make sure that they are labeled with the letters. Question B reads, which team had the best record in the league, and how do you know? Well, the directions said that the teams that had more wins than losses were a positive number, so our winning teams are all the ones to the right of 0, and the team that is farthest to the right of 0 is Team G, it's the Wolves. And it says, how do you know? And one thing we could do is we could say their number is farthest to the right. And we're going to use the terms furthest right and furthest left a lot in this lesson. So I'm just going to go ahead and start practicing here. Now that's not the exact answer for question B. You could have written your answer a little bit different. The team is definitely the Wolves, but how you explain that varies. So question C reads, which team had the worst record, and how do you know? Well, this is going to be just the opposite of the last question. If the best team was the one that was furthest right, the worst team is the one that's furthest left, and that's going to be Team D, which is the Tigers. And we could say kind of the opposite. Their number, oops, I'm spelling that wrong. Their number is furthest left. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the reflect question at the bottom of the page. Number 1 reads, explain what the data tell you about the win-loss records of the teams in the league. Well, when it says teams, what we're supposed to do here, plural, what we're supposed to do here is draw kind of a general conclusion. So I'm going to go back up to the top here. And what do you notice about some of the numbers? Some of the numbers are negative. And what would we know about those teams? The direction stated that the negative combined loss record are the teams that lost more games than they won. I'm going to switch over to a different color. Some of these numbers are, I know there's no sign there, but when there's no sign, that means they're positive. Some of the teams had a positive record, a winning record. And then there's a third group here, and that's this team right here, and the Sharks. That 0 actually means that they had the same number of wins and losses. 0 is kind of right in the middle. So whatever their record was, it was the same number of wins and the same number of losses. So I'm going to type my answer here, and I'm not sure exactly the best way to write this, but I'm just going to go ahead and name the teams that had teams with a negative number lost more games than they won. The teams with a positive number won more games than they lost. The team with a 0 had the same number of wins and losses. That's a decent answer for that one. Okay, you're done with page number 13.